What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. So got a bit of a different and quite creative track for you guys today. Scrolling through the forums, just seeing what interested me, and I saw that a bunch of guys had done it was essentially a 1 hour track building contest, and I think there was 5 or 6 people in total. And I scrolled through, and this is the one that kind of took my eye the most. So what you see here in front of you was all built within the space of an hour, which is impressive by itself, but I also thought it was the most creative out of the bunch. Essentially being underwater. I mean, he called the track Under the Sea, which I suppose is a very appropriate name for it. Custom skybox, as you can see, looks really, really cool. And he's even gone as far as kind of changing the lighting. And I don't know if the decals have been changed to match the lighting or if the lighting does that automatically. But just really, really good stuff. It's made by Hubbard, which is what it says on the forums, which I'm guessing is Jacob Hubbard. It's a name that used to pop up a few times back when I was playing back in the day. I hopped on the track once already, just to see if it was worthy of a video, because I imagine you can only get X amount of quality when you take an hour to build a track. No, it definitely is. No, it's a good fun track to ride. Some definitely challenging bits that I'm sure, given more of an hour, would have been tweaked ever so slightly, but still good regardless. I did hop on the 250 to test it out, but some of these jumps I do feel like you need a 450 for. This one here is a big old huck. If I can get the downside, go and get it clean. Yes, and then this next jump's very dependent on that as well. I think I can just step on, step off again. Nice, and you can still get a good flow going. Now, I've released 2 tracks in this game in total, both of them being very, very mediocre, probably below par, below average. And I know it took me a good, one of them took me a good 2-3 days just straight, you know, doing nothing else other than making the track and editing it. So to see people doing all this stuff within the space of an hour, really, really cool, really impressive. And it just goes to show, like, with the right tools and the right skill set, you can really kind of bang out something quite fun and enjoyable in no time at all. This right here is the section I was on about. I've not got it right yet. I've done 2 laps before I turned the camera on. That's the first time without crashing, at least. So we're making progress. Let's get up this hill here. Can't remember how big this jump was. I mean, that was fairly good. I always say that if you can hop on a track and kind of downside jumps after a couple of attempts, it means the track that has been built quite well. The track creator's taking into account the speed that you're going to be going in certain points. Obviously, this is not a replica of anything at all, so all the jump sizing is his own doing, unless, I don't know, the people over in Atlantis just go and ride motocross on the weekends. I have no idea. It looks really cool. It's a really cool concept, and you get a few tracks like this in Sim. Something that's a bit kind of out of the ordinary, a bit different to usual. They pop up every now and then. Don't really get it in MX bikes. The only time I've seen anything like that was the Super Mario, the Rainbow Road track that we got. But I feel like that's been done in most games as well. You know, it was nothing kind of like out of this world, original / creative wise. You know, it has been done before, but I've not seen this before. I'm tempted to, because I know way back when, years ago, I'd done a whole bunch of different of these like weird, wacky and wonderful tracks just on my own time. You know, I wasn't doing YouTube back then. Might go and do some digging, see what weird ones I can find just for content's sake, because they are definitely enjoyable and it's worth showing off. I mean, a whole bunch of you guys probably had no idea that this existed. There's crazy ones out there. That you're going to absolutely slate me for my knowledge right now, because I do not know the name. The dragon in Dragon Ball Z, grey / silver dragon, whatever you want to call it. There is a track where you can literally ride on its back the whole way, and it's things like that, just very, very imaginative and really, really cool. It just goes to show kind of what people can do. I mean, this game's ancient at this point. You know, every time I make a sim video, people are quick to point out the graphics are kind of a bit lackluster. The game looks like it's a PS2 game, is one that I've heard quite often. But people just love it for the sole reason of the gameplay is really, really fun. It can be incredibly frustrating, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if you can put a lap together on Sim, like a good lap that flows well, you know, you've kind of hit all your marks, you've got your braking points, you've followed the ruts smoothly, it's so rewarding. There's something about it, which is why I think people just dedicate like hours and hours and hours to it. I can't do that anymore. Just not because of the game in general, but just me as a person. I can't spend like absolutely hours on end on the same game anymore, or on any games in general. I have to take breaks. I'm guessing it's because I'm just getting old at this point. The most time I spend on my PC at a time nowadays, really, it is either if I'm doing Krackenberg Enduro for a video on bikes, or if I'm doing the Aerial Championship on bikes. I'll spend, also track releases at about 8. Usually the EU event goes from 8 through to like 11, so that's 3 hours, and then sometimes if I stay up for NA as well, it's like another 3 hours. So yes, every now and then I'll spend like a good 6 hours or so. But it used to be commonplace. Like back when I was in secondary school, I'd come home, hop on Sim, spend maybe 3-4 hours a night on Sim, and I was just grinding, you know, just trying to get good at things. And I think that's part of my like addictive personality, is once I kind of get into something that I enjoy, and the competition side of things adds to it as well, because I don't like losing. Like, I absolutely hate it. I mean, I came second on Friday in both EU and NA for the Aerial Supercross on MX bikes, and I was still pissed off. Like, in second place for anyone else, they'd be absolutely over the moon. Like, really happy, good result. And I don't know, there's something about coming second that I don't enjoy, which is it's a bit of a bad mindset to have, but then it can work sometimes as well. I mean, there was nothing in it at all. The race didn't mean anything. The championship has been over for kind of a couple of weeks on the EU side. I mean, I wasn't in the hunt on the NA side at all, but yeah, still, don't know why I just get very annoyed from not doing too well, which is why I'm a little bit nervous about the GP race. I think I would have already done it by the time this video goes out. I'm trying to pre-record a whole bunch of things, because from Monday the 23rd through to Friday the 27th, I think, that was a weird legs off, I'm just busy, so I can't record much, so I'm just trying to get ahead of time, bang a bunch of things out. It's getting a little bit tricky, actually, when you try and pre-record this many things ahead of time. Just trying to find concepts that you think people will enjoy, because I don't want to just pump out content for content's sake. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. I want you guys to enjoy what you've seen as well. As soon as the day comes where that isn't the case, I'll probably stop, because I'm not going to sit here wasting my time doing something I no longer enjoy, that nobody else enjoys watching. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be in this position. I wouldn't be fortunate enough to be able to kind of have a second job playing the games that I used to just grind out for hours and hours for free. But this track, it's one of them. I'm probably not going to hop on it over and over again, like at any time soon at least, especially since someone put a link together for me the other day, actually, of every single JGMX track. So I've got every JGMX track in my game now, which will take me many hours to go through them all and have fun. So they're kind of what I spend my time on when I hop on Sim, just for fun now. I don't go on like the GP tracks or kind of fancy tracks like this. I hop on more of I suppose they're not fancy tracks, but they're just more like fun tracks, the JGMX stuff. But something like this, once in a blue moon, absolutely fine. Really cool concept. There was other people in it. I mean, I think it was Pilsner, that done. It was almost like just an art project. He just done really cool looking lines. It wasn't a track as such at all. Someone done a replica of one of the RF Supercross rounds. Someone done a custom Supercross track. So after all, they're all kind of good in their own rights. They're all rideable. I'm sure I probably would have made like a circle in an hour, I won't lie. I need to try and find some time and maybe just make another sim track, because I'm older than I was last time I made a sim track. I feel like I would take a lot more time, a lot more care, and kind of not rush things so much, try and make things a bit more perfect. I'm absolutely rubbish when it comes to Photoshop, so I know a lot of people make their tracks in Photoshop. That wouldn't be the case for me. I would have to use the editor, and then I'd probably restart a bunch of times if I'm not enjoying something. But who knows, maybe one day I'll release another one. Sure, people can just load it up and then shit on that. I'll find a link at some point for my 2 tracks. I've done a video on one of them, which I believe was just called Lynn's Fun Track. I do have another one which, funnily enough, Spencer Turley done a review on back in the day, how things come full circle, called The Basics, which it was just made for, that was when Charlie actually was just getting into Sim. I thought I'd make a track for him to try and learn. Very basic track, just a couple of small jumps with some easy ruts as well. If you manage to find that, then fair play, let me know what you think of it. But yeah, in the near future, I might try and make something else. Purely for the sole reason that all the boys in Discord have really started to get their sim grind on as well recently. Since MX Bikes has become like a little bit stale, you know, there's been nothing new as of late. I mean, we've all been doing Supercross for like 17 weeks straight, getting a little bit burnt out on that. So we're just mixing things up and playing a bit of sim, maybe with the motocross season coming up now in the next week or so, it will be a bit more interesting. I keep trying to oppo that jump, but I'm not getting the slide, and I'm going to crash again, aren't I? Oh my, okay, that was weird. Didn't expect to land that one. I have my 250 suspension on right now, which usually can't take very heavy impacts on the 450. I'm guessing it's purely to do with the weight, but I do get a lot of random legs off on this setup, but I couldn't be bothered to change it ahead of the video. I think that'll do it for me. There's not a whole lot more to say about this track other than it's just a really cool concept. I'm going to go and do some more digging and see if I can find some more 1 hour kind of builds, because I think it's a cool concept as a whole. And this one dates back to, I think it was January this year or January last year. I can't remember the exact date, I just saw January. But yeah, if there's been any more, I'd love to see them. Do give me your track recommendations as well if you have idea of the names of any of those weird and wonderful tracks. Otherwise I'm just gonna have to be doing a whole bunch of scrolling and trying to load up all tracks that sound interesting and have a look to see what they're actually like, and it would just save me a whole bunch of time if anyone knows any off the top of their head. Let me know about that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you guys are up to, until I catch you in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.